Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday, and welcome to another episode of the Mindminx Show. I am your favorite Mindminx, and we are live here on Mix Vibes Radio, as we always are. And this, I want to say, is my last episode of Season 1. What? Season 2 will be happening next year, and the only way that I knew that I could possibly round off this amazing year I've had and all of the abundance that have come my way is to have someone like my guest on with me today. So I want to introduce to everyone Corina.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to be here with you guys. How are you? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. I'm so excited. We got here nice and early just to get the jitters out, and they're still there, man. I'm still nervous.
You and me both, honey.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
Good. Yes. And I'm on an empty stomach, so I had coffee. So now it's nerves, and now I'm hyped up on coffee. This is going to be fun.
That explains why you didn't want the tiramisu that I gave you.
Yes. Oh my God. She got me tiramisu. It's anyone who knows me, Richie Esquiche.
Who is in the house.
Who's in the house. Told her that I love tiramisu. It's my absolute favorite.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yes. So
and it's from actually a very Italian, like they are Italian. This isn't like, yeah.
I love it.
They have like this huge soccer statue out in the middle of the restaurant. Yeah. No, they're
It's
Italian.
awesome. I love it.
So let's get into it. Let's talk about you. So I was going through your bio, which, by the way, you have such a long and illustrious career. You have given me 4 pages of notes to write, by the way.
Oh,
there's
wow.
4 pages.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you. You're studious. I love it.
I do. But it's fun. It's the only time I enjoy studying is when it's something I want to learn about. So
how sweet is that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So yeah,
So
let's do it.
You're originally from New York. Were you born in New York or were you born?
I was born in Spanish Harlem,
Okay.
116th Street,
Okay.
and I was raised in the South Bronx. So I got the best of both those worlds.
Wow.
And I'm proud. I'm a proud New Yorican. I am 3rd generation. And my grandma came here with nothing, couldn't speak English, and in like a 10-year period, wound up with 3 bodegas. Wow. So I come from some real powerhouse women,
Yep.
who struggled tremendously. And I don't know. I think that I can survive anything because of them. So I need to give them a shout out.
Huge shout out to all the proud Puerto Rican mamas in our life.
Yeah.
And actually, I just want to say really quickly, I have my mother-in-law in the house today. She was born in Puerto Rico, and she's a powerhouse too.
What?
So yes.
All right, we got another body.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she's beautiful.
I think except for I don't know what the mister is, but I think except for Richie, we're all Puerto Rican in the house.
Yeah, my mister's Puerto Rican
Oh,
and
okay.
Trinidadian.
Oh.
Y'all. Yeah.
Oh, makes it even more exotic.
I know. Yes. You're stealing all the sexy over here.
The only person who got all the sexy was you, darling. You got the ring on your finger.
Ay,
So.
mama, qué linda. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm really so happy to be here. It's Sunday. What a blessing. Thank you.
Yes. No, thank you. All right. So you got to spend the summers, and I was always so jealous of all of my cousins that got to go spend the summers in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I didn't get to do that.
Really?
My dad was Italian, so he's like, nah, we raise our kids.
Oh, I hear you. Well, my grandma, Rafaela de Jesus, was very much involved in my life because I came along from my mom when she was very young. And my mom and dad raised me, but my grandma would save me
Okay.
from the children who were raising a child. And so I'd wind up in Puerto Rico for like 3 months out of pretty much every year till I was
That's
about
amazing.
21. I know. So she would, the entire summer, and then the Christmas month. It wasn't supposed to be a month, but my grandma made it a month, and I was a good enough student that the teachers forgave it. Yeah, but very consistently, we would go over there, and you know, my people are still there, and when I go back, I feel like I'm 5 years old again. There's so much that doesn't change about our people in El Campo de Puerto Rico, you know, and there's a purity and innocence and a beauty that you just don't find anywhere else in terms of, you know, we come here and we become very whatever, New York, Philly, Florida, right? And there's an innocence, especially in our elderly people. They're just so precious. And I still have a good amount of them alive today that when I go back, I'm 5. And I'm so like, yes, Titi, yes, Tio, whatever you want.
Me too. Know? Yeah.
I don't know.
Do you mind if I ask where in Puerto Rico? Because when you said the Jesus, that's my family name.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So my grandma's house still to this day is in Trujillo Alto.
Okay.
My father was from Guanica.
Okay.
I have family in Arecibo and Ponce.
The hottest place in the world.
Oh my God. Right? Caguas. You know, so they're pretty much all over, but I'm gonna say Trujillo Alto is like where it all really happened for at least my mother's side of the family, who was the big chunk of it, you know.
Mine was from Calle. My family's still there.
Calle? Yeah.
And where are you from? Maunabo.
Maunabo. Where's that?
In the mountains.
Oh my God. I went to the mountains of Sidra one year. I didn't even know what a Sidra was.
I mean, I don't. You're going to teach us something right now.
Well, I just know that it took forever to get there, and there were all those winding roads around the mountains, and the people coming at you closer to the mountain didn't really care that they were about to push you off the side of the, and I was like, I would close my eyes every time somebody came. But again, the innocence and the beauty of these people, like my people, it just reminds you of all that is important, which is living and eating food that you grow. You know, my family on my mother's side were extremely poor in money, but so rich in food because they grew everything, and everything was organic. And so I grew up eating, you know, tons and tons of quenepas. I had a quenepa tree, and we had a little tin roof house, and I would lay up there with the little lizards and just pull them down with my teeth.
Aww.
You know, guanabanas.
Oh my God.
I know.
What a pretty imagery that is, just to think about that.
And at the time, it just was the most normal thing. And when I think back now, I go, oh my God. And the little lizards would come by me, and we had a chicken coop, and I would pull the eggs out of their butt if I didn't feel they were coming out fast. Like terrible things. Yes. And now I go, oh my God, like that was my life. And I have my grandma to thank for that, I have a real appreciation of nature because the mountains were around us, and she grew gandules and sugarcane and pumpkin.
Really?
Oh my God. I met my great grandfather when he was 104 years old. People when people talk about, oh, he lived a long life, he was 70 something. I'm like, oh, honey, no. My grandpa was 104, and he would die, I guess, 4 years later, which would make him 108. But at 104, he was going down a hill to get me sugar cane, and I couldn't go down the hill because it was too steep. And then he'd walk up and just hand me
like nothing.
Like nothing. And I remember him just being, to me as a little girl, he was an older guy, but he was so strong.
Right.
And, so beautiful. And his wife was alive too. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, they were living much longer over there.
There's a secret that we need to tap into. Oh, no, let's not do that, because then that's...
No, let's not.
So in your bio, it says that you just started performing in your room to your mom's favorite artist. Is this how it all began?
People always ask questions like, I want to get into the business. How do you do it? And the most honest answer I could give them is, you just have to want something and then move as if you already have it. Because I had no idea. And like I said, my parents, I was raised on food stamps and welfare cheese, right? I mean, my parents really hustled and struggled when I was a little girl. And my mom, we didn't know when I was a little girl, but my mom suffered from what would now be classified as manic depression.
Oh, wow.
Right? So my mom was suicidal.
Oh, my gosh.
And if I tell you that she attempted it so many times that I thought everyone's parents, all my friends, I just assumed everyone was this way. So my escape was she would allow me to use the clothing. My mom was very fashionable. So, you know, at the time she was big. She was always like big on the Supremes and Barbara Streisand and Cher. So she wore these, and she had this fantastic, rest in peace. My mom passed in 2019. Until the very end, she had this cute itty bitty little body. She had dementia, and the one thing she never forgot to do was salsa dance. So anytime there was a man around, she'd be like, and my husband would be like, look at her. She's backing it up. She's backing it. So what I learned is that my mom had so many problems with just coping everyday life that to escape it, after I would do my chores, I would lock myself in my room. I had this mirror, and I would pretend that on the other side of that mirror there was an audience. And so I would do all my favorite songs, and they were my mother's records, like To a Film Called To Sir With Love, Jesus Christ Superstar.
I heard that's your favorite.
Oh my God, so my favorite. So I knew all the songs, including the guys, and I would get dressed up like Cher or whoever, and she would let me wear the stuff she was no longer wearing, and I would put makeup on, and then I would sing in front of this mirror and pretend that people were cheering me on. So I think you manifest, if you do this kind of thing enough, you trick your mind into believing it's really happening, and so the universe then matches that with an actual experience.
I believe that 100%.
And if I tell you, the very first time I realized that I had actually really manifested it is that I had a show. We arrived in San Francisco. I didn't know where I was going. I never knew where I was going because it was always like, oh, you have a show here, and then you have an interview there, and then you. So we arrived to the back of this gate, and on the other side of the gate, I saw every famous singer in existence, and I thought, what is going on? So at that time, there was like Marky Mark and Boyz II Men and Mariah Carey and Poison and Bon Jovi and I'm like,
wow,
it was weird, right? And I thought, am I like in a dream? And then they take me in, and the security would bring you in, and then you're outdoors, but you were only around other very famous people. So there was nobody like, you didn't have to be kept safe from anyone. So you were just kind of hanging out with all these people. And I remember Broadway Bill Lee, who I love with my heart and my soul, because he has always been so consistently incredible, amazing, and I get to call him my friend. He was the one introducing the acts that were performing for what would turn out to be a huge Stop the Violence benefit.
Oh, wow.
At Candlestick Park. How many people in that place, honey? 70,000. Wow. So what happens? I walk onto the side of the stage. I can't see where the people are. I just see the steps, Salt and Pepper coming at me, right? And I'm like, oh my God, that's Salt and Pepper. And they're like, hey, what's up, Corina? And I was like, hey, they know my name. That's fine. And then they're like, ladies and gentlemen, Corina. And as I'm walking out, the roar, I went deaf. It was like white noise.
Wow, I just got shivers.
And when I look out onto the audience, and you can't see anyone because everyone was this big. And so suddenly I felt this big.
Oh.
And I suddenly was in my room in front of the mirror, and I'm like, these were the people on the other side of that mirror.
Oh my gosh, what a great story.
And then I had to then perform, and I was just like, the song starts playing, and then I thought, I'm going to pass out. My dancers come out, and as soon as I just went, bam, it was over. I lost it. I was floating. But I knew then, I even cried as I sang because I knew that I was living. I'm
about to cry now. I'm a crier, dude. That's an amazing story.
Thank you. And so I say to people, man, life can be hard based on everything we know. We know all the things that can go wrong all the time. And so you're constantly like, how am I going to get through next month? And with COVID, some people are still trying to get back to work, right?
Sure.
And people are struggling. And the most amazing gift COVID gave me is that it forced me to be creative. So Tinili Neshika was produced by me. That's huge because I've worked with producers for many years, and whenever I'd come in and say, I have an idea for a song, they'd be like, yeah, just sing. Right? And COVID, I bought equipment that I didn't know what to do with, and I started pressing buttons, and then I called one or two friends and I said, what do I do with this thing? How do I connect it? And they walked me. G-Force, which is a producer, Gabriel, was like, Mama, you got this. It's going to take you a year and you'll be fluid. And 3 months later, I had a song and he was like, you lying. There's no way. Then I send it to him and he's like, all right, this is pretty dope, but it's not on time. Like some of these things don't make sense. I'm like, well, help me. So we get it on time. By the time it was finished, another 2 months later, and I sent it to him, he was like, shut up. There's no way. I'm like, is it good? He's like, I can't even. And he loved it. And I loved it, but that's me. Like, I was like, yeah,
you're
I
always
did
going to
it.
be hypercritical.
Right? So then I put it out. And if I tell you that straight across the board, first of all, I'm not a person that gets negative like comments. I'm just not.
Good.
And if someone tries to be negative, they usually lace it. Like there was one girl who said,
Oh boy.
this is really different. You should have gotten together with the old freestyle producers you worked with because this isn't good, mama. And then she goes, but I'm a big fan and I love you and I'll support everything you do. That's generally the backhanded comments that I'll get from a negative. But
Wait. Can I ask you a question? So is it someone that they said it to you directly, or was it a comment you read?
No, it was a comment.
So
on
wait, I
Facebook.
think it's hysterical that you added the accent to what you thought.
What I thought she thought. Her name was, I'm going to say her name. Cindy Cruz is what she calls herself. I would find out later. And the reason why I said her name is because apparently it's not even a real page.
Oh.
Don't get me started. That's a whole other conversation. But I'm just saying. And I just thought there were certain things said in the comment that I went, oh, go back to the producers you used to work. And I went, okay, mama. I was like, you know what, Nena? There's a lot of music in the world. You don't have to like mine. Go somewhere where you like the music. But for the most part, 100% is across. I get like equal percentages of, oh my God, this is the greatest freestyle ever. Oh my God, this is so not freestyle. Wow, Corina elevated freestyle. Why didn't Corina do freestyle? So I just sit back and I'm just like, because Corina's doing Corina, first of all. And if you call it freestyle, if you call it Latin hip hop, if you call it dance, if you call it mainstream, call it whatever you want to call it. I'm just doing stuff that feels good to me. And if it feels good to you, come along. And if not, mira. Bastante música.
Yeah.
Vete para allá. Like, you have to stay here. Like, I'm good, you know?
I love that.
Yeah.
So I want to ask that question because you're right. Freestyle does have so many definitions now. So like when I think freestyle, that's what I think. I think of that genre of music that I was like in 8th grade, just getting into high school. So like, I love your whole look. I did a second promo for you of the look that because you had the short hair with the crop top, and like I love that whole look. I was like, I would still, if I had the body, rock something like that because I think that look is so cool to me. But now it's kind of changed though. Now when you say freestyle, a lot of artists think that you're literally off the cuff saying, you know, verses or whatever. Right. So it's just changed. How do you think it's evolved? Freestyle as what we know it to what it is now, what you're trying to introduce?
I was living in the early 80s at the cross between Southern Boulevard and Boston Road. And a block this way, a block that way, a block in any direction was where the Grandmaster Flashes came from, the projects 2 blocks away from me, breakdancing, those burnt down buildings where, you know, people used to get together and plug their systems into the street lights so that they can do block parties because people were broke ass, you know what I'm saying? And so it was a way to celebrate because that's one thing about our people is that Black and brown people, we know how to have a good time, and it's always around music, right?
Yep.
And music really elevates everything. Like if you're ever having a hard time, just play music that makes you feel good. It changes your state. It's the most important thing you could do. So I grew up in this area where the people were very creative because they had nothing else, right? And hip hop, a lot of people relate hip hop to rap and to just, let's say, black, right? But it was Puerto Rican and black, right? And so what wound up happening is that with, I want to say, was it Zulu Nation with the beads, right? Black and Puerto Rican kids that came together, and then there were the Rocksteady crew, Black and Puerto Rican kids, right? So what wound up happening is that when the pop rap started getting on the radio, because rap was always in the street, right? It started to become more associated with, oh, black artists do rap. So when DJs started creating record pools where it was like mostly like Latinos, because it became like we never separated each other, but the industry would start to separate us eventually. So now that all these DJs were part of record pools, and they would mix, and eventually it became like, let's add a vocal. Let's get a girl to sing. Somebody tried it. The rest was history. So now it was Latin hip hop.
Okay.
It was Latin hip hop to differentiate from hip hop, which was already Latin. And it's such a crazy thing. Long story short, we were all Latin hip hop artists. And I remember being really young, 21, 22, and being like, I don't like being called a Latin hip hop artist because I don't rap in Spanish. Now I appreciate the term because I really understand it. I understand how it came to be, right? Freestyle, I want to say, it was because of the way, I guess, the music, it was a freestyle in music. The DJs played beats and they were freestyling. So it became freestyle music. I can't even tell you when that happened. I want to say that there was a certain part, I'm going to say certain artists, and I won't name them, and a certain music that started to kind of come in and mix in with what I consider the amazing classics of freestyle.
Okay.
And when I say that, I'm talking Niobe, Please Don't Go, Cover Girl, Show Me, Sapphire, Don't Break My Heart and Let Me Be the One, Noel, Silent Morning, George Luan, Bad of the Heart, right? Sweet Sensation. I mean, I could go on and on. That is what I consider, like, when you listen to that music, that was real music. It was just like Out of Control, for example, by Carlos Berrios, was like a 64 track song.
Wow.
Right? And he didn't know what he was doing when he put it together. He was a DJ. He used to work at a place called Sync Sound, and he had access to edits or samples that I believe were from Michael Jackson's Thriller, which was being edited there at the time.
Wow.
And here's this young kid, and he's able to borrow, because at that time you could do that. So if you listen to Out of Control, there's a thing that happens, and I think it's from the Thriller video.
Oh, wow.
Right? So there were all these elements and orchestral sounds that they used, and violins. And later on, it became, and I'm going to say this, and some people will get irritated and annoyed, but truth is truth. It became kind of like somebody took a track, they put it out with 25 different artists singing on what to me was the same song over and over and over. And there were so many of those that flooded the market. And suddenly there wasn't a focus on these orchestral, amazing Latin with hip hop sounds that I remember when I was first coming up. It became this watered down thing with not necessarily people who could even carry a tune. And that flooded the market. And I believe that it was somewhere during that time period that it became freestyle. So then the problem became, oh, don't call me a freestyle artist, because while I love the fans and they're very supportive and I love the music, there's a lot of bad music mixed in with this really great stuff. And I don't want to be associated with the stuff that is just kind of somebody's sister's brother's cousin and the next door neighbor. I'm going to do a record. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't people who, like, as children were like, I want to do this.
Right.
And everything about them, when you see them, they ooze this. Sapphire. Sapphire, La India, come on. These people were undeniable. Noel was James Dean as far as I was concerned, right? George Lamond was like our George Michael. I was like, he's going to go, forget it. He's going to go forever. La India was just so amazing and strange, much like very famous people tend to be. And I was in awe. Like, I was surrounded by this amazing talent. Betty from Sweet Sensation was like Diana Ross with that voice. And I find myself like, I found myself at that time thinking these are people who really wanted this. But then the market was infiltrated and completely saturated with, I don't know, people who just got real lucky and were able to carry it. And you know what? You got your hustle on and you make your money, and that's cool. Like, I respect a good hustle, and I respect people that work hard. Another group who shouldn't remain nameless is TKA. TKA, their original, those songs, and then when they would become K7, oh my God, with Come Baby Come, this is like in your face hits. You know, and I don't want to leave, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings and leave people out. That's not my intention. But I'm just talking about what comes up for me.
Right.
You know, when I think of like the music that was Latin hip hop. And then it would become freestyle. And there was still some really good stuff in freestyle. But for the most part, I found that people were just, there are a lot of new freestyle artists today. And I want to say to them, do music that feels good to you. And you love a freestyle record, so do a freestyle record. Make it about something actually, like write a real story. And don't copy some other stuff that you think is freestyle that you're like, well, I don't even know what I'm saying. Other than that, be proud of what you do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Do something that you can sink your teeth into and be like, you know what? If nobody likes it, it doesn't matter. I love it.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yep.
Don't just copy what other people are doing. And use us to be inspired. And I hear that there's some good new freestyle out there. I've come across a couple of people, and I've mentioned her before, this girl, Mia. Like, when I look at her, she's beautiful, she can sing, and she actually puts some thought into what she's doing. Don't just get up there, you know, and first of all, get up on stage in the clothes that it looks like you slept in them.
Oh.
And then, you know, like there was no, it's just like
No
I did
effort.
a record.
Yeah, no
you know,
effort.
like give something and then you get something in return.
Right.
So anyway, there goes my whole explanation for Latin hip hop. I went on a tangent. I do that.
We're Puerto Rican. That happens often here.
Too many stories.
But you're segueing perfectly because I'm supposed to do homework, so we're at the halfway point.
Okay.
Don't forget you are listening to the Mindminx Show here on Mixed Vibes Radio. Don't forget to like, add, and share. Do you mind if I say the phone lines are open if anybody wants to call in?
No, my God, of course.
All right, so I haven't said phone lines are open in a while, so correct me if I'm wrong with the number. But if you'd like to call in, the number is 718-616-9971. And we have Corina. Now, I think we should play, and we're going to talk about all your old stuff, and I actually had spoken to Joaquin about whether or not we could play any of your old stuff, because I don't know if we'll get banned or...
You can. I think that there's a time limit. Am I right?
All right. So I want to play, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Right, yes, you're here. We got the permission.
Yeah.
I want to play Temptation because this was your highest charting song.
Right.
You got to number 6 on the top 100 of the Billboard charts,
Yeah.
which is amazing.
Amazing. Absolutely. A little girl from around the way. That was huge. It was huge. You know, yeah.
So can we play Temptation?
And what you want to do, I think, to keep it from getting stepped on by the majors is that I think that if we talk every 30 seconds or something, and then continue to play. I know it's so irritating.
No,
but-
that's okay. Oh, we got a call. Hello, caller. Thanks for calling in. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, how you doing?
Who's this?
My name is Manny.
Hi, Manny. You're talking to Corina. Say hi.
Hi, Corina. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Manny? Thank you so much for calling in on this Sunday.
I'm doing very well, thank you. And it's actually a pleasure and an honor to talk to you because I think this is the longest time I ever wanted to talk to you because I've heard everything that you've said up to this point, and you make absolute sense, and you're telling the 100% truth about the genre in general. Let me just say, how can I put this? I'm one of your favorite fans because when you sing when you perform, I hear the emotion. I hear the truth in your songs. I hear it in the lyrics. And I think, to me, personally, I think that's what's missing today in the whole freestyle world.
Oh, my
When
goodness.
the new artists are putting music out, like you said, take time. Think about what you're going to talk about. If it's from personal experience, great. But if it's just a story that you're going to bring up, put it in that lyric and make it your own. No need to copy or be somebody else. Be yourself, be original, be genuine. And that's what I love about you.
Oh, honey, you're gonna make me cry. I'm a crier too.
Yeah. We're all criers here.
That is so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. And thank you for supporting and for saying those words. That really means everything. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And let me just say, born and raised in East Harlem, but now I live up in Pennsylvania. But I do come back and forth, and in my car, I'm always playing your songs. I'm always playing some of the old stuff. But there are some new songs out there that I do like, that I do gravitate towards.
Okay.
But it was something that you said about the same old sound, the same old beat. See, me personally, I look for three things. I look for lyrics, I look for sound and beat, and I look for vocals. If you got the vocals, then you can just throw down the track and you can actually run with it.
That's
but
right.
You have to take me to a place that you're going to that I can relate to. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So that's what to me freestyle is about. It's about the emotion. It's about the experience. It's about that artist that you can relate to and feel in what they're singing, basically.
Absolutely. And Manny, what I say to people is this: music is supposed to make you feel good. And to the artists that are redoing songs, even the older artists that are putting out music that sounds like it did 30 years ago, you grew up, you're a different person. How about your music grow up too? You feel me?
And I hear and I hear what you're saying, and I'm not going to mention any names too. But hey,
Nobody wants to mention any names.
I'm not an artist myself, but I was actually in the industry because I worked at a radio station for 16 years.
All right.
So I kind of seen and heard and understood where certain artists were coming from and how they kind of, I guess you want to say, reinvent themselves.
Right.
But really, you don't have to reinvent yourself. You can just
be true to yourself,
experience.
right? Just be true to
Yeah.
you. And maybe the song that you come up with sounds like something from 30 years ago, but if it feels good, nobody cares. It's about vibration. It's got to feel good. As a matter of fact, listen, there's a couple of songs I've considered redoing that were from back in the day, but I'm going to elevate them to today. I'm not going to do what the artist did then. You know what I mean? So bring yourself to it, your experience, your life, because it's been a lot of years. I think
Yeah.
you've got something to talk about.
That's super smart. I love that idea.
And let me just finish by saying this. Like, I met you, the only time I met you, wow, if I can remember, I think it was 2003 or 4 at Webster Hall. They were doing some kind of show there, and I actually went upstairs into the VIP, so-called, and I just met you. You were sweet, you were
Thank
kind,
you.
you were friendly, and just your smile, and that told me she's such an inviting person where she doesn't mind. I can take a picture with her, take a photo,
Aw,
talk to her,
that's
and let her
awesome,
know,
man.
I love your music, stuff like that.
Manny, you know what you did? You just started something. I think our phones
Our
are
phones
blowing
are-
up
they're
because
blowing
of your
up.
call. I love that.
Hey, that's what I'm all about. I'm speaking the truth.
Yes, yes.
I don't like it too bad. I just had a birthday on Friday.
Happy birthday, honey.
Happy birthday,
belated.
Manny.
Yes.
Manny, I don't mean to cut
Thank
you
you.
off, but I want to thank you so much for calling in. Don't forget to like, add, and share if you aren't already. And it was really great to hear from you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best, Karina. All
Thank
the
you,
best.
honey.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
All right, take care. God bless you. Hope to see
God
you
bless
soon.
you too. Yes.
Bye-bye.
Me too.
So whoever the caller was that we couldn't answer, we didn't want to cut off Manny. Come on and give us a call back. But we are gonna play. Oh, wait, they already are there. Hello. Hello. Thanks for calling into the Mindminx show. Who am I speaking to?
Hi, this is Shannon.
Hi, Shannon. Welcome. You're speaking to Corina. Say hi.
Is it Shannon? Shannon? Is it Shannon singing? Shannon?
Hi. Oh, I should probably turn this off, right? Hi, Corina. It's Shannon.
Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm making it. I want to thank you for all of your inspirational quotes and your awesome music, and
Oh my
just
goodness.
for lifting me every day.
Oh my God, what a blessing is that. Listen, Shannon, and I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again because I get to talk to you personally. Every single quote that I post, it has something to do with what I'm going through in the moment, because I know that somewhere in the world there's someone having the same experience. And I figure if I elevate one person, then I'm helping myself and I'm helping them. So thank you for that, because you've just given me the greatest blessing today. Thank you.
You're gonna make me cry. Thank you so much for.
Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. And I follow your Twitter quotes and all of that. So even with my pain, I thank you for all of that. And I want to see you do more shows, and I want to get you to Chicago.
Oh my
wow!
goodness!
So we had
Let's do
PA
it,
calling
Mama.
and now Illinois calling, and
Yes,
that's awesome.
that's amazing. I love it. Real quick, I want to say I have an album coming out 2022. I plan to do, with God's blessing, 4 album release parties. Why 4? Because I want to hit my people in Orlando, New York, Chicago, and Cali. And so, yeah, let's definitely talk, because who knows, maybe we can make it happen over there. That would be so amazing.
Okay, and I won't keep you, and have a great day.
You
Thank
too,
you,
Mama.
Shannon. Don't forget to like, add, and share if you aren't already. And thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye. Wow.
That was awesome.
All right. So before the phone rings again.
And there will be no music, just phone calls.
Yeah. Just let's play Temptation, and we'll talk about it after.
Baby, there's something I think you should know. I don't think I'll be needing you anymore. It's just one of those things, I'm sure you'll understand. We've been together so long, I never meant to do you wrong. But I found someone new, there's nothing you can say or do. To try and change my mind would be a waste of time. Let's go our separate ways, there's nothing more. So just try to ease your mind, 'cause I don't mean to hurt you. It's just he knows to treat me like a special lady. It's time you look away, he knows just how to touch me. Maybe someday you'll understand. Temptation, she's a part of life. It doesn't matter if it's wrong or right. Temptation, she's a part of life. It doesn't matter if it's wrong or right. It makes you do what you like.
We have the artist with us, so please don't ban.
Please don't. I mean, and I wrote the damn thing. Could you just leave us alone for
So
like
wait,
3 minutes?
sing a bar or two of it if you
Yes.
don't mind. That way we
Okay.
can. Temptation.
Is a part of life. Even better. It's time you ease your mind, 'cause I don't mean to hurt you. It's just he knows to treat me like a special lady. It's time you look away. He knows just how to touch me. Maybe someday you'll understand. Temptation is a part of life. It doesn't matter if it's wrong or right. Temptation is a part of life. It doesn't matter if it's wrong or right. It makes you do what you like. Woo! Thank you.
Wait, where's the bell?
There we go.
That was so freaking cool. So that takes me back. I'm not gonna lie. To like, all right. So I graduated 8th grade in 1989. So at that point we were still doing like the little graduation parties in everybody's houses, and we'd be in the circle in the rec room and listening to the music. Like that's what it reminds me of. It like takes me so
awesome.
back to
Oh,
that.
I love it.
I love it.
You see, that's what it is. That's what music is, man. It's the thing that I think artists need to understand is that when you put out a record, it connects to people to specific experiences. That is what makes it your favorite record. It's not even just the song may be great, the lyrics may be great, But when you're in love and a song plays in the background, that song becomes that love moment. And every time you hear it, you think about that person, even 20 years ago. That's just the way it is.
Right.
That's what music is. It's a vibration that you carry. It's a memory. It's everything that feels good and sometimes not so great.
Yeah.
You know that song, Luther Vandross, don't you remember you told me you loved me, baby? I was in the Copacabana, dressed as a witch. It was Halloween. Wearing 20 pounds of makeup. No one knew it was me. There were people from my school there, and no one recognized me. And I was with my boyfriend at the time, who left me stranded at the Copa because he decided that in my witch costume, I was flirting. And he was incredibly, incredibly jealous. This was pre-Corina days, like pre-music days. Well, pre-getting signed days, because I was singing since I was a kid. But he left me, and when I couldn't find him and I wound up in a balcony area of the Copa, that's the song that started playing.
And that's
it. Now
it's burned ingrained, and that's
so every time I hear that song, I think I was 18. Every time I hear that song, I want to cry.
Aw.
And it's this many years later, I could give two for that person anymore. I don't even think, but that song takes me back to that moment and how heartbroken I was, because I am monogamous to a fault. I would never even, it just wasn't in me to flirt. And he didn't know that. And then he abandoned me and left me. And that's what's connected to the song forever. And it's such a beautiful song, but it just makes me want to cry.
Dumbass.
Not good.
Dumbass.
Exactly. Dumbass. You know, yeah. So, I don't know. My songs, when people say to me, your song got me through this and your song got me through that, I wanted to be that for someone, because Cher was that for me.
Oh,
right?
I love Cher too.
The Carpenters were that for me. There were so many people who their music got me through a very ill mom. You know, and
I wanted to bring this up, but I didn't want to interrupt you. But in a time where there was no diagnosis, there was no treatment, there was no help.
No, not
so
at
though
all.
there was the music.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Music and performance. And so, you know, add to that I was an extremely, when I tell you shy, I'm talking sickly shy child. So when my mother discovered that I was performing in my bedroom, she found talent contests to put me in, and she would literally have to shove me out onto the stage
Really?
because I would get so sick. And then she put me through beauty contests.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Oh my God. That was another lifetime. But anyway, I did those. And
Wait, don't glaze over the fact that she was runner-up to be Miss Puerto Rico. She was about to glaze right over that.
Oh my God.
And you did receive the title for I wrote it down. Miss Hispanic
America. That got me a car. I was 16, so 16, and I won a car. I don't even remember what kind of a car. It was a car. I wasn't driving yet. Clearly, I'm in New York. We don't drive here at 16. And so we needed to pay the taxes on the car, and my parents couldn't afford it, so we didn't get the car.
Did they give you the cash value at least?
No, but they gave me.
They didn't do that back then?
They so did not. So they gave me this brand new, enormous bedroom set that at the time made me feel like a queen. I was so like on top of the world because it was this giant closet and the bed with the giant headboard. Wow. And when I look at pictures today, it was so tacky, y'all. It was like some sort of a plastic something, I remember. It was really awful. But at the time,
that was the style.
Honey, I was discoing it out because that's what it reminded me of when I look at it. I got clothes, I got manicures and pedicures for like a year that I never used because I wasn't really doing that then. And what else? I don't know. Like I won a lot of really nice gifts, and mostly I joined the contests because I could do a performance aspect, and I would dance and sing. Because the whole beauty part of it, like I mean, Miss Hispanic America was 74 women from all Latina from all over the world, and they were gorgeous. Like Argentina and Venezuela do not play when it comes to beauty. And I was like, Mom, I can't. And I'm a New Yorican, right? So at the time I spoke Spanglish, if even. So I didn't speak English, I didn't speak Spanish, I spoke something in the middle. And my Spanish was not like these women. All they spoke was Spanish. So when it came time to, they would ask you a question. And I made it to the top 10 of 74 girls. And then they were like, okay, now we're going to bring it down to 5. I make it to 5. And I'm like, oh no. So I'm going to have to answer one of those questions in Spanish in front of all these people. And it was like each girl had a table of like 25 people, 74 girls, right? So they asked me the question and they're like, so in Spanish, they're like, so tell me what it is for you to be here and represent Hispanic women. And I don't know what happened, but I opened my mouth and this very telenovela Univision monologue came out of this face. And when it was over, I was like, I just won this shit. That was dope. And I did. And then when they were like, ¿y qué me tiene que decir ahora? And I was like, I don't know. I'm really happy estar aquí. And they were like, but wait. Whoa, what about the monologue?
Yeah, like how did that just
No, it was like a spirit came in. My grandmother was like, mira, cabrona, you're gonna represent. and then I was like, blah, 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 un orgullo de ser puertorriqueña y representar a la mujer latina. And then I was like, oh.
I wish I could have been.
And everybody at my table, when it was my turn to speak, they were like, oh God. And then I started speaking and they went, wait, what? Oh, shit. I got up. My mother was crazy. And I was like, yo, Mom, I don't know what just happened. And
That's
it was
amazing.
Isn't that crazy? But the problem was that I had to do all these interviews for
After.
for Telemundo and Univision. And I would just be like, and I was like, why doesn't the spirit of my grandma come back? I can't do this. I can't.
I love it.
Oh my God. And now, of course, I speak fluent Spanish because then I was really put to it. After that, I was so embarrassed. I was like, I really gotta, you know what? I gotta represent my people. And the whole talk about, oh, you speak to other Latinos and they're like, no, but the Puerto Ricans don't speak Spanish. They say ajo. I'm like, no, baby, no, don't do it. Those are the Puerto Ricans in New York. Those are the New Yorkers. In Puerto Rico, they speak Spanish. They say arroz, okay? They don't, and then they're like, they don't roll the R's. No, they do. It's that we come here, we mix it with English, and then we're speaking some other stuff. Pero tenemos que representar. I'm just saying. Yeah, so I don't know. That's another lifetime. Like, I swear to God, in this life, I think I've lived like 20 lives.
You definitely have. You definitely have. Because even after, let's say, all right, so what, 1997, I think that's when...
Summertime.
Yeah. Well, so you went into, all right, I can do this. I can talk. I know how to do this.
I'm sorry. I threw you. You were saying something specific. What was it?
So, like, after music stopped, I was actually going to ask you if it's being in the pageants what made you decide to go into music, but you already answered that saying it was something you'd always done.
Yeah, no. When I was a little girl and I watched people like Cher, and when she would do... Cause I'm a vamp, a tramp, and a bit of, I don't know why, a V-A-M-P, vamp, right? I was like, she sings, she dances, she acts, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, I want to do that. And when I was a little girl in my family, all but my grandma who knew, the rest of my family would be like, mira, nena, I know you want to do that, pero... we don't do that. You don't see people like us on TV. And I'd be like, so then I'd be the first. Like, I was innocent enough to be like, that's cool.
Right.
I could start
You
something.
didn't
And
see
they're
that
like,
as a deterrent.
right.
I love it.
And then they would be like, no, but what I mean is, it's not that we're not out there. They just don't pick us. Well, they're going to pick me. Because, like, I'm cool like that.
I love it. I love it.
And I don't know. I just had a sense that I could do it when I was a little kid. There was a point I was trying to make, and now I completely forgot what it was because I go on tangents. Do you know what it was, honey? No, my husband. My husband goes like, he's like, stay on. She asked about the bus. She didn't say anything about candy. Go back to the bus. I'm like, oh, the bus. I don't know what I was saying.
No, well, so we were talking about but I wanted to segue into the fact that
Performance.
the performance, right?
Yes.
You said, and somebody had said to you, because you did start dabbling into acting after that, and they're like, "Oh, now you've done music, you think you can act." Your response was epic. I love what you said.
What did I say?
You said that you've always been a performer. The
performer.
fact that singing got you into the spotlight first does not negate the fact that you had all of this.
But people do that, right? It's kind of like actors. You'll hear an actor's been around for 20 years and can't get arrested, like, right? And then they get that one role, and maybe they're a murderer, maybe they're a monster, maybe they're whatever they are. If that role is big enough, every single role that comes after that is the same thing. And it's easy when you're trying to eat to do the same thing over and over again, right? So with me, it's like what picked me up first was a record deal. But if I had my choice, I would have been a film and TV actor first who could sing, you know?
Okay.
And in terms of singing, like I tell people, I'm like, look, I know who I am. So when people are like, well, Mariah Carey sings this way and this person sings that way, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm not Mariah Carey. There are vocalists and there are storytellers, and some very few people are both. Whitney Houston was a vocalist storyteller. Barbara Streisand, vocalist storyteller. Mariah Carey, vocalist. Every so often she tells you a story. She can hit all those notes, but how often do you hear singers that hit notes and you're like, yeah, she hit all those notes, but I'm not really feeling the song, and you don't really know why, right? Because they're not telling you a story. I'm a storyteller, and I'm not saying I can't sing. I'm just saying that when I'm singing to you, I am not only singing a song, but I'm telling you a story about something I literally personally went through, and you should be able to feel that. If I'm honest and I show up, and that's what this album that I'm putting together, like, I'm scared, y'all, because it's kind of like my diary out in the open. There's stuff in there about, Tinili Neshika is about someone that I was dating during Temptation that obliterated my heart.
Aww.
And he was a very famous person at the time. And when we first met, I wasn't interested, and I realized that it was because I thought to myself, this is a really famous person who gets around. He's just toying with me. And then it turned out that he wasn't. And then when I got to know him outside of the spotlight, he was one, and to this day, and I'll say it, one of the most incredible human beings I could have been blessed to have known. And to learn that really famous people could actually get that big and still be really real people that would go back into the hood, literally. He would go into the hood of the Bronx and try to find artists there to help produce them and make music for them. This is the kind of individual this was, and he didn't need to do that. He was so big, and he wasn't from our hood. He was from his own type of hood, because he wasn't raised with money. But this individual taught me so much about myself, and taught me that, that not everybody, people think, oh, they're famous, so they're not going to be reachable. And this guy was all of that. But he had a manager who decided that I was too small an artist for him.
Really?
And started to put in his ear that perhaps my people were hooking us up to elevate my own career.
Oh.
And while he didn't believe that, he himself was going through legal stuff, trying to get out of the situation he was in. And it was a bad time for both of us. I was going through some stuff, he was going through some stuff. But when it was over, I really thought I had a rock in this person. He was going to help me through some things. And when he couldn't handle what was going on in his own life and then went away without a word, I was destroyed. But as a result, I have Crying's Not So Bad, which is on my album, Tinili Neshika. And these are, when you hear the song, that's what you're feeling. Because when I sing the song, I can go back to that place and relive, just like you live certain moments when you hear certain music that you love. I'm able to relive what that was for me. And I'm hoping that this whole album has that effect that when people hear it, they go, oh my God, this is really about something. I feel it when she sings this. And I don't know if he knows the song is about him, and I never say who he is, but hopefully one day he'll hear it, and I'm hoping he'll be like, that's a dope ass song, yo.
He'll feel it.
I'm gonna have to like tell people about this song.
I hope so too.
Just say it, yeah. So
all right, so we could like, apparently I took 4 pages of notes thinking that'll just get us through an hour, and now
I'm sorry.
no, I love it. I love it because I'm always nervous that we won't have enough information, but I love our conversation.
You know what you're nervous about? That you're gonna get someone that's gonna be like, yeah, and then yeah, cause you know what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying,
and everything.
and you know what I'm saying, cause like what I was saying was, you know what I'm saying, I was saying that back in the day, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
Because there are times. All right, so this is the part of the show where we just bullshit for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
There'll be times that I'll have a guest on, and I'll be looking at Mike, and I'd be like, "Can I have the cards? Can I have the card?" Because
like
it's just
this.
like, I'll ask a question, and they'll be like, "Yes."
Right. You're like, so yeah, so you put out this record and it did really well for you. Yeah.
I'm not even exaggerating exactly.
So you want to tell me a little bit about it? Yeah, I wrote it.
How long did it take you to write it?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was cool, you know. I went to the studio with my boy and then we just recorded it. Yeah. Yeah.
No fucking joke. I'm sorry. That was the first curse of the day, by the way.
Yeah, so don't be like stomping on us for that. So, I've been keeping it clean myself.
You were super. That's why I behaved. Usually we're like,
oh really?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
me behaving for you and you're behaving for me.
I was behaving for
What?
you.
Oh no, let's get crazy up in here now. You want to hear a crazy story? I was the madrina of the Puerto Rican Day Parade. In what year was that? I want to say, I don't know, 92. I'm not really dating myself, right? So they made me the madrina, which was like the greatest honor. What was I even saying? Oh, so Channel 11.
Oh no, what did you do?
I didn't do anything. I was minding my own business. And this woman comes up to me and she says, she's a reporter, a Caucasian woman. And there's a reason why I said that. She comes up to me and before I've even opened my mouth, she goes, so you're the godmother of the parade. I'm going to ask you a few questions and we're going to go live. However, you don't have to worry. She was moving her hands like this, like if I was mute too. You
Sign
don't
language.
have to worry. Because I'm not going to ask you any hard questions.
OMG, how did you not smack her?
What? And I was just like, and she goes, so it'll be like, where are you from? And how does it feel to be here today? And I was like, okay. Because if there's one thing I never had a problem with was talking clearly. So when she put the microphone to my face,
What did you do?
and she was like, so here we have the godmother of the Puerto Rican Day Parade. And so how does it feel being here today? And I was like, well, I went into it is such an experience. I am so grateful to my people who are all the New York Puerto Ricans who came here I talked about all of it. I talked about the Great Migration. I was like, my grandmother has 3 bodegas and we've made it. And here I am today, the madrina of this amazing parade in New York, and all these New Yorkers and Puerto Ricans in the house. Everybody say whoop whoop. And she was just like, when it was over, she never got to say another word. When it was over, she turns off the mic and she tells the cameraman, okay. And then she goes, oh my God, I'm so sorry. It's just that you don't understand. I talk to people and usually the most they say is, yeah, and you know what I'm saying? And I was like, yeah, no, I completely and utterly understood that.
I
but
understand
you shouldn't
too.
generalize.
Yeah.
Just don't generalize, mama, because you don't know.
Yeah.
I was ready for you.
See, I didn't generalize. I just made a lot of notes just in case.
No, mama, but you're right.
Yeah.
I see it. And how many times have I been in interviews with other people? It's supposed to be an interview of like 4 people, right? And then they're like, so we're going to start with you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Yeah, my name is such and such. this is nice. This place is nice. Oh, okay. And you, why don't you tell us about your song? And then I'm just like, okay, so yeah, I'm so happy to be here with my peers. They're all so amazing. Her song, his song. Yeah, it's incredible that we all came together and we did this music, and oh my God, and so many experiences have come as a result. And we all came from the hood, right? You guys, you came from the hood, you came from the hood, right? I'm like, what? And then they're like, oh, let's just talk to Corina because I don't have any more questions to ask those other people. It happens all the time. I don't understand if it's nerves. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, just one. We're going to do... My engineer's like, we got 2 more songs. I'm like, no, we're going to do one.
She's like, no, just one more song. Just one more. And her name is not Mindy, all right, people? Her name is Celia. It's not Mindy.
Celia.
Oh, what did I say? Celia?
Celia.
Celia. As in cruise. Celia. Oh, I got all American. I was like, Celia is in the house.
That's just as bad as Mindy.
Sorry. Oh my God. I just canceled myself out. Okay. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. All right. So I wanted to talk about this really quickly because I got to watch and then we're gonna leave. I promise you. So I got to
He has a whip.
Yeah. I started watching Cradle Will Rock.
Oh my God, Tim Robbins?
Yes.
My hero.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about. He wrote a book about the experience, right? And he mentions you, and I love it because in it, he literally says that you were hired as an extra, but you just like took on this role of Frida, and he like that had to be you. There wasn't an extra. You had to be Frida. So you played Frida.
Let me tell you that. Okay, so there's a book called Think and Grow Rich, right? Napoleon Hill. Why am I saying this? Because I have read that book 7 times in my life. And every time I've read that book, something extraordinarily, insanely huge has happened. So read it. I swear to God.
Okay.
Weird things. I got my deal after reading it. I got this Tim Robbins film after reading it.
Tell me the name again.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, right? I was in the middle of being evicted from an apartment from this landlord that was just insane and throwing everybody out. I was the only one he picked on. And I read this book and I received $75,000. And so did every other tenant in that building because he picked on the wrong bitch. Oh, I could say bitch because we haven't cursed.
Yeah, we're not cursing.
Right?
I mean, we are cursed. We can curse is the operative word.
We can. So my point is, and not that should be, my point is something good always happened after reading that. So Tim Robbins, I read the book. I was going through a really horrendous time in terms of performance. I wasn't getting any work. This is post Temptation touring and everything. I was in a bad way. No money, no nothing. And I'm up at 3:30 in the morning having a very depressed, oh my God, I'm on the internet. I want to go to Italy. Why Italy? I have no idea. That's what came to mind. Okay. I find a site that says an audition. They needed an American actor to take them to Italy. I didn't realize the date. Actually, no, the date was 3 months prior. It was done.
Okay.
But I sent an email to the director and I said, listen, I saw this. If ever you do another film, I would absolutely come. And yes, it would be free. As long as you pay my way over there, I will go. He wrote me back the next day and said, my girl quit because she got a pilot in Hollywood. I could fly you out next week. Okay, I go out to Italy for 3 months, my people, with my $75,000. Thank you very much, because both those things happened at the same time.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm in Italy for 3 months, loving it. Now it's my favorite place. I come back, and I get a call from this random agent who would turn out to be an amazing agent, Byron Crystal, and he says, I have a picture of you. I had just done a mail out, so I thought it was a recent picture. He goes, I have a picture of you. Come to my office. I want to look at you in person. And I show up, and he says, yeah, tomorrow morning they're going to pick you up. I can't tell you for what. And because I knew he was a real agent, I went with it. Got in the car the next morning, a town car. They take me out to this place in New Jersey. And when I get there, there's a theater that I had been at, I don't know, 10 years before that with Mark Anthony doing a movie called An East Side Story.
Yes, I read it.
I didn't even know where this theater was. And here I was in front of it again, like some weird, right? And I walk in and I'm like, so what's going on? They're like, shh, it's all real. Everybody has walkie-tees and stuff and they're really important. And I'm like, oh my God, these people are very serious. She goes, walk through the curtain. I go through this curtain that leads me to an auditorium or some kind of a, I don't know, film place. And there are huge cameras everywhere. And I see the comedian, what's his name, honey? Bill Murray on stage. And I go,
So they were already
they were
filming.
shooting, and he had a ventriloquist on me.
Yes.
And I go, that's Bill Murray. And I'm like, oh my God. So somebody says, ask for Alan Green. Go on to the stage. I'm like, but Bill Murray's on the stage. They're like, no, we're in the middle of a break. So I get on stage, and somebody comes up to me and says, yeah, can I help you? I said, I'm looking for Alan Green. And they're like, oh, yeah, over there. So as I walk to over there, behind me, I hear this voice goes, can I help you? And I had just seen Hudsucker Proxy the night before, I kid you not. And I turn around, and I never spaz out. Like, I'm not a fan type of person. I do it in private. And I turn around, and I go, oh my God, you're like a really tall Doogie Howser. That was the first thing that came out of my mouth. And he was like, and he goes, my Frida. And I'm like, this is Tim Robbins. And I'm freaking out. He goes, you're my Frida Kahlo. I'm like, you're what? He takes me he goes, you're going to the honey wagon. They put a brow, they give me a unibrow and a mustache. And I come back to him, and I felt he was my best friend. And I was all like, oh my God, I love you so much. You're so amazing. And can you please remove the mustache? I mean, the eyebrow is one thing. And he was like, all right. You know, Frida Kahlo had both. We'll do that. We'll take it off. And then Ruben Blades, Plástico, don't even get me started, because you know that's the music of the hood, right?
I wouldn't know.
Él era un hombre plástico, de esos que veo por ahí, con like something en la mano y cara de yo no fui. Mama, you know what that is, right? She's like, what? Well, Ruben Blades was playing my husband, and he said to Tim, yo, she can't just be sitting there not saying anything. And he was like, you're right. He's like, she was Frida Kahlo. So they start giving me lines, and all of a sudden, I'm cursing out John Cusack, and I'm hanging out with Susan Sarandon, and I was like, what just happened to my world? This is crazy. Think and Grow Rich. My people, go get it. I'm telling you.
Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, so by the way, this film, the names,
What?
Jack Black, Bill Murray, John Cusack,
Emily
Joan
Watson.
Cusack. Yeah, I mean, like,
Vanessa
Redgrave. I know, that's what I said to my husband when we were watching. I was like, holy shit, that's Vanessa Redgrave.
John Turturro.
We
could just go on and on.
Like, there was name after name.
Oh my God. No, it was incredible. And it was like the most incredible acting class ever, because he allowed me to he would say, sit right here. And I got to watch how they processed. Susan Sarandon gets in as they yell rolling. They go rolling, and then she becomes the character.
Wow.
John Cusack is flirting till the very end. He's all like, what's up? He's talking to me. And they're like rolling tape, and he's like, yeah, so later on. And they're like, action, bam, and he's in. Ruben Blades was Diego Rivera I never met Ruben Blades.
Oh.
From the moment that he saw me, he said, Frida, aquí llegó mi Frida. And then I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome. And he was like, mira, tú tienes que hablar así, tienes que decir esto así. And he was Diego Rivera. And Tim was like, yeah, you're not going to meet Ruben here. Maybe at the rap party, because he just stays in character
The whole time. Wow.
And Tim Robbins was just, I've said this to him many times, and I'll say it again. I created a book for him. I used to do this crafting, and in it I wrote the lyrics to Sir with Love, because it talks about but how do you thank someone who has taken you from crayons to perfume? And I was saying to him, to Sir with Love, like, you just gave me the greatest gift ever just by letting me sit next to such genius, amazing actor, writer, director, producer. Like, that's my guy. So I just needed to give that shout out.
Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so we actually
Ran out of time.
Well, besides running out of time, that's okay. He hasn't kicked us out yet, so we're okay. We're okay. But let's talk about this. You just debuted.
Tanili Neshika.
Thank you, because I
Let
couldn't
me hear you
pronounce-
say it.
No, Talini. Say it again. Say it one more time. One more time.
Tanili
Lee
Neshika.
Neshika.
Yes.
Tanili Neshika.
Yes.
Okay.
So Tanili Neshika, my girl Ayelet Lazarian, she's Israeli, was my best friend. She is like the Jewish version of me, right? She didn't really speak great English, and I didn't speak any Hebrew, and we were best friends when we first met. And she taught me that term, and she's the one that pretty much nursed me through that breakup. So she would say to me when I was really upset and down, and she'd say, Buba, which is like doll, you know, girlfriend, right? She'd be like, Buba, tinili nashika, Buba, give me a kiss. Like, and it was a joke we had between us, and she would just be like, come on, you can't be upset, and when you give kisses, you're not upset, give me a kiss. Tinili nashika, Buba, tinili nashika. And she'd be like, yalla, which is hurry up, tinili nashika. So I wrote the song about him, and I dedicated it to her. So when I called it Tinili Nashika, everyone was like, bitch.
No one's going to be able to say
It's going to be the fucking Corina song that I can't pronounce. And I'd be like, well, and they're like, just call it Give Me a Kiss. I'm like, no, my nigga, that's the whole point of saying Tinili Nashika. Because I'm going to teach somebody, I'm going to elevate my peeps. And they were like, pero nena, ¿cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se? No. Tinili Nashika. And then they're like, oh, that. And every time I do an interview, they're like, yeah. So Corina, say the name of your song, girl. Say the name of your. I'm like,
that's code for I can't fucking say that.
I can't say that shit. Sneely Nishika. I had Eugene and Trona, my guy. He owned Rise in Chicago and Temptations. He was one of the biggest like club owners and one of the most incredible people you could ever know. He did a spot for me recently, and he was like, yeah. I can't fucking pronounce that shit, Corina. And I was like, come on, let me hear you say it. He's like, I can't do it. And he's doing a spot. So I'm like, all right. So I record for him, Tinili Nashika, Tinili Nashika, Tinili Nashika. And he was like, some, Tinili Nashika. I got that shit. I said that shit.
Yeah, if you don't think about it, you
Right.
can do it.
You could, yeah, no, it's T-N-I, Tini,
Tani.
Li, L-I,
Okay.
Nashika. I know.
Li Neshika.
I've been saying that shit for
Tini?
20 years.
Li Neshika.
Yes. And it's like sexy. Just look at your man and be like, Tinili Nashika, baby.
All right, I'm going to try that later.
I know, in private.
So when I mess it up, you can make fun of me a bit.
Exactly. Oh my God, how cute. I love it.
So you produced this song under your own production company, yes?
Yes, and my own record label. I started a record label and everything. Look, I am honest to a fault, to the point where, here's the thing, man. I don't have a lot of friends because if I can't be honest with you, I don't do bullshit real well. I don't do politically correct. So when I go to the shows, I'm very scared. I'm scared that someone is going to say something and out the mouth is going to come because that's just, I'm straight up, right? I'm like, yo, I know you don't like me. I don't like you. Let's just respect each other and keep it moving.
Right.
But don't be like, Nena, you look so good. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in like forever. And you're an amazing girl because I love you. Bitch, no, you don't. So don't. All right. To me, it's like, yo, what's up? You doing good? Because I want everybody to do well. Why did I even start saying that? Does anybody know?
Because you made your own
Oh.
record label. I love it. She fits right in.
So when COVID happened, like everyone else, first of all, 2020, I was really, really sick. And I had been really sick once before. And I was so sick, you guys, that I was in the hospital and I didn't think I was coming out.
Really?
Because when the doctor looks at you and they're like, you're like, wait, what? What's that?
They have no bedside manner. So
Yeah,
they
none.
have that reaction.
None. And I remember just looking over at my husband and I thought of all the things I hadn't done because I decided people hurt my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Get the fuck over yourself. People are going to hurt your feelings and people are not going to believe in you because they don't believe in themselves.
Right.
So you got to believe in you, right? So there were a lot of people that I came to for help over the years and they wouldn't help me. And I found myself in a situation where I was like, God, I can't produce myself. I can write. I hear songs in my head. And then finally, one day I said, wait a minute, why can't I produce myself? If I hear the song in my head, I just have to be able to play it. And I don't play instruments, but neither most of the motherfuckers that produce me. I'm just saying, let's just call it what it is. Anyway, so I got myself a little keyboard, made a couple of phone calls to one friend in particular, Gabi, G-Force, and actually Jimmy Greco, who the remix of Tinili Nashika comes out tomorrow. He did it. So then I just started playing and I just said, if I could mimic what's in my head, I bought myself 40,000 loops. I wasn't playing. I didn't know what to do with them. I still don't, but I bought them.
I was going to say, what the hell is 40,000 loops?
Just different sounds sounds that I could mess with. And then I put the song together, and when it was all said and done, I cried. And I said, God, if I could do this 10 more times,
That's
I
a
have
whole
an album. And that's what this is. So my people, if you're listening, support independent artists. I said, you know what I need? I need a label. So I started Catbox Records. That's been a process in itself. For a year and a half, I've been trying to get my trademark approved. It just went out for approval like 2 days ago.
Wow.
I mean, there's things I didn't realize how much goes into this, and promotion wise and everything. Like, I can't do everything. My poor husband, I don't know. I'm just running him ragged.
God bless him.
You know, and so Tinili Neshik, I'm super proud, because if 10 people bought it, that would be 10 people who bought a piece of my heart, because
Literally,
everything
from
I am,
beginning to end.
literally,
Yeah.
everything in me is in that song.
Wow.
You know, and this album, I am looking for it to be the same, every single song. And it's hashtag Spanglish is what I'm calling it, because I'm
seen the hashtag,
Spanglish,
yep.
right? And so everything in there, I was trying to do every song Spanish and in English. We'll see. There's going to be a mix, but it's going to be who I am. And whoever loves it, loves it. And the people that don't, you know, I don't know how you cannot love truth, because truth has a ring to it. But I don't expect everybody to be into what I'm doing, because half the time, I'm just going with vibration. I have no idea. None. And Tinili Neshika, I knew was going to be too slow. And the DJs are like, Mama, like, I love the song, but like, I have to speed it up. I'm like, do what you got to do with it.
Yeah.
It's, you know, the vibe is there. Just speed it up if you have to. And then, so the remix is faster, you guys. It's faster. So play it, because it's faster.
No, well, we are. So we'll get. I have the song, right?
Oh, no, I
have
meant
the
play the
original.
DJs. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no. But I have the original.
Yes.
But because this is literally an exclusive,
Oh.
we're going to play the remix.
Oh, yes. Yeah, because it's not out till tomorrow.
It's not out till tomorrow.
That's dope.
Do you-
Let's do it.
I just want to say we're going to play Tinili
Neshika.
Neshika. I almost did it.
You almost
I
did it.
doubted
Do it
myself.
again, do it again, do it again.
Tinili Neshika,
The remix.
the remix.
By Jimmy Greco.
By Jimmy Greco. Live right now
Right
on
now.
Mix Vibes Radio. And I almost said Mindy, by the way. See? On the Mindminx show.
תני נשיקה, בבקשה. אובה, איילת. תני לי נשיקה. יאללה. תני לי נשיקה. When you look at her, can you see me? When you touch her, can you feel the burn you feel? When you touch me, I bet you close your eyes. Can you feel me? Do you love her in the dark alone? So I am there, so real to you, so real to you. I'm dying, please understand. I cannot live without your love. I'll just wait for you to come back to me. Please hear me, just walk away. God cannot hold you to her love. One mistake, He'll forgive if you're there for me. I'm inside your soul. You can free me when you feel you're not where you belong. Just reach for me. I'm there for you. You know her love's a crime, 'cause you're with her. Even though she knows your heart's with me, you're
That was amazing.
So it comes out tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
You know what's really funny? When the labels would release my songs back in the day, and then I would hear a remix of it, I would get so annoyed because I'm being honest. It was because they didn't always get remixes right. So like if I really loved the song, and I never, like, they would never tell me the remix was out. So I'd be like in a car on my way to a show. And then the radio would start playing, the new remix by Corina. And then it would be some whack ass shit.
Like, that's my name.
And I'd be like, oh my God, that is so hard. And then I call my label. They'd be like, mira, nena, we needed a remix. And I'm like, yeah, but why does that have to be but? Like, why couldn't it just be? However, songs like Now That You're Gone, Loving You Like Crazy have fantastic remixes. Like when I hear them even today, I'm like, I don't know what I like better, the original or the remix.
That's
But
great.
that rarely happens.
Okay. But
Okay.
as long as it happens.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So this is one of those, like, I really love this. I think he did such an awesome job. I'm really proud of it. And I'm just hoping people enjoy it and then dance their asses off because Christmas is coming. We got parties to, well, yeah. And on the party front, y'all, please, like, the whole COVID thing is very much alive. Listen, throughout COVID, we had distant family members that got it. You know, people that live in other states or whatever. And it was a horrible thing and tons of people dying. In the last now 3 weeks, I personally know of 6 people that got it bad who don't know each other.
Wow.
So it isn't like they were together and got it. No,
Right.
6, like, and I'm talking no degree of separation, like
Right.
people I personally
Right.
know. So something's going down. Like this thing is really not trying to go anywhere. So please, my people, please wash your hands all the time. Wear a
Be
mask.
safe, yes.
And all of them were vaccinated, by the way. I just want
Yeah.
to say, it's like, I don't know, man. I just blessings to everyone. Happy holidays. God bless you. Just do the best you can, you know, to I don't know, to stay safe. I don't even know what else to say.
Yeah, that's all we can say is just stay safe.
Stay safe. You know, I don't know what else that means. But anyway, the remix is out mañana.
But you got to hear it first right here.
Yes, you did. That's awesome. I love it.
So I want to thank you so much
Oh.
for coming in.
Thank you.
And being an amazing storyteller.
Oh my God, thank you. Well, you made it easy and thank you. I thought this was gonna be fun though. I don't know. Just looking, even just from looking at your pictures, looking at your face, I said, this is gonna be so fun.
Yay.
Yay.
I love it.
And here we are.
I love it when a plan comes together.
Richie, I love you, Richie
Yes.
Esquiche. By the way, a phenomenal artist. I got plans for Richie. I got plans.
I had him draw. So, okay, you said your mom passed away. My mom passed away in 2018. And my sister had her first baby after my mom passed.
Wow.
So what I commissioned Richie to do was we picked my favorite picture of my mom, my favorite picture of my dad, and he together with the baby. And that's what I gave them for
With the
Christmas.
baby.
Yes.
Oh my, and how amazing is it?
It
It's
was
incredible.
beautiful. Yep.
I
It was
can't.
beautiful.
I can't.
So yes, Mr. Skiche, who I finally got in studio.
Yes, I love it.
Well, everybody, this is it. This is the end of season 1.
Oh my God,
We've made
what an
it through
honor.
a whole season.
Mama,
Like, holy shit.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh my God. this is so
And
awesome.
I have an exciting season 2 already lined up straight until March. So
What?
yes. So I'm speechless, and I'm never speechless.
I love it. Well, I hope to drop the album in April. So
Ooh,
if
maybe
you would
you-
have me, I'll come back.
Mi casa es su casa.
Oh, thank
So
you. I'll come back and we'll talk about it.
yes, that would be so exciting.
Yes. I can't wait.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being on with us. And I'm going to do my outro, the last one for this year. So I want to thank everyone for all of their support and their viewership and my family. And Merry Christmas. That's what we say in our house. So Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. And mind your favorite minx and join us for next season, season 2.
Woo!
So thank you, everyone. Yeah, 7. All right, so we're going to go out. I don't know what he's doing. My engineer's doing something. Oh, he's doing something.
Aw, give me back my heart.
Aww.
I love it.
And so we're going to leave it. Give Me Back My Heart by Corina. Thank you,
My favorite
everyone.
man.
What do you mean I don't understand you?